This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay. Ah!
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you, because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust, as a fellow human being above all else.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfrikt Milgrath, the former Lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfrikt whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming Sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the Sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the Motherland, Sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
You can never be...
Hell yeah! There's no way you can... Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menentia. I command you.
Rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Magic is there!
Can't get out of bed! One more! Live inside me! You're let free!
This one's mine!
By the power of Searing flame! Reload! Not in your dreams!
Hurricane!
Here's a healing arc! First aid! The flame!
The enemy wields Part 2.
We'll soon see about that!
I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! Red
Astral energy!
Say no more! Now! Here I come!
1,000 gales! Carry it aside!
Here I come!
Do it!
Rondo! Soaring light!
The earth throbs in pain.
Dark Brigade!
Infernal torrent!
Raging storm!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
That enemy looks strong.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
This one's
Your line!
These ones can run rings around us. Sleep now.
Too fast!
Stand back! I'll zip it up.
Dance in the wind.
Orochi Fury!
Too much to handle.
Azure Storm!
Corruption. Magic is there. This one's mine. Confiscated.
Purge, make it rain!
Lost. Get toasty.
Burn Strike!
May 1,000
No
now.
shit.
Dohalim. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes! My turn!
Blazing storm.
Shield and face!
Lunar tornado.
Mirage! Plasma Shock!
None shall
I can
escape
carve
my
through
touch.
armor.
Raging storm.
This one's all
How
mine!
about this?
It's over! Dragon Swarm!
Magic is there. Holding land.
Severed Wing!
Divine savior. Fire. Air thrust.
Ignite!
Now.
Still!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
I feel sprightlier than before.
No choice!
Freezing storm.
Here
Dance
goes!
in the wind. Here goes. Tornado.
Take this!
Like astral energy.
Denied!
Time to cross blades!
May 1,000 gales tear you to shreds. Healing system
Here I come!
mine. Gusty
I'm not
nails.
done!
Thanks,
That'll bring you down.
Stardust! Lunar Rondo! Not a chance!
Lunar blast.
Ready and rare.
On guard!
Magic is
charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it. I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher! Oh, too shy to come over? Here, I can call through one.
Here goes!
Here goes!
Here, throb my pain.
Here I come!
My healing hurricane!
Soaring light spear! Struck!
A chain between heaven and earth.
I don't even know the word defeat.
A wailing
That'll bring you
banshee of
down.
monster scream. The flame will heal you all. Burning
Denied! Their arcs were interrupted.
No escape!
This one's mine.
healing hurricane!
You're mine!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Plasma shock!
Take
Master
this!
energy!
Ground and pound!
Here I come!
Ready and real! Magic is here! Flame of
Take
fury!
this!
In here!
Hurricane thrust!
Here, let me help.
Luna Rondo!
Lightning frenzy!
Piercing roll!
Let the marksman have you
Plasma
the
shock!
handle!
Flaming
Burning!
meteor!
On my watch! This one's mine!
Plasma shock!
Raging cascade!
I'll smash you! Plasma shock!
Flaming meteor!
You require
Blade
help.
Lancer!
On guard!
Hurricane thrust!
I'll be saving this one!
You picked the wrong fight!
Mega Wave
Plasma
Frenzy!
shock!
Annihilation!
Can't get out of this!
Arrow Squall!
Take this!
Let me help!
I'm not done!
Flaming meteor! Nothing gets by me!
Hurricane
Piercing roll!
Time to let it rip!
Thunder Blast!
Burn up!
Holy Land!
Mirage!
Blah, blah, blah!
Plasma shock!
Ready!
Savior! Blah, blah, blah!
Stunner!
Shield!
Luna Rondo! This one's all mine! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arc!
Take this!
Lightning orb!
Plasma
Now
shock!
lightning!
Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Everyone's still in one piece?
Let's dispose of the trash.
What my lord!
Healing circle! This one's mine!
Look sharp!
Just wait!
Now you see what I can do!
Feel the secret consume me!
Bring her down!
Here's a healing arc!
Plasma shock!
Tiger blade!
Confiscated!
Searing Gale!
Here, let me help.
Ready
to go.
For support!
Easy ensnaring to me.
And pummeling to me!
Here I come!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here, let me
No
help.
chance!
Here goes! Ready and real! Ground and pound!
Hard fire!
Mirage! No escape! Plasma shock!
Here's the
Eat
evil!
this!
More where that came from! Freeze!
Rising Falcon!
Raging
Plasma
Storm!
shock!
Do it!
Glazing Spear! Here's the
Rising
evil!
Phoenix!
Here goes!
Mirage!
Hard will!
Destroying
Flare Tornado!
Take this!
Here, let
It's over!
Hit! One more!
Take this!
Water snake wing!
Blah, blah, blah!
Plasma shock!
Reload!
Make it rain! Don't get complacent.
An opponent like this should be easy. Now you learn!
Not on my watch!
Take
Far
this!
enough!
Lightning can
No
dash!
escape!
Looks up!
How long are we gonna keep this up for exactly?
You got spirit! Damn it, finish!
This one's mine!
Soda! Lunar Modo!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Here's a healing art! Art seal!
Going in.
First aid!
Lightning
Orochi
can
Fury!
dash!
Water! Hear my call!
Slap the shot!
Chain between heaven and earth.
Glacial spear!
Take this!
Away! Champion lightning! Divine savior!
Let me help!
Air thrust!
Mirage!
First
Hell
aid!
queen!
Vital energy!
Take this!
Mega dream! Searing
Mirage!
confiscated!
Inferno
Toxic!
A chain between heaven and earth.
I owe you one.
A wailing
No
dance
escape!
of lightning.
Piercing roar! Slap the shot!
Sleep now. Annihilation.
Here I come!
Mega red.
Slap the shot!
Here's a healing.
Do it! Time to shine!
Chill!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
We managed to pull through.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on...
I won't forgive you!
Slap the shot!
In a vine? Leave the chargers to me!
Take
Slap the
that.
shot!
I think I'll pass on the
Take this
hand.
up!
Far enough!
Annihilation.
Slap the shot!
Glacial spear!
Soda!
Confiscated.
Hurricane
Lunar Modo!
Dance in the wind.
Hurricane thrust!
Here's a healing art.
Slap the
Chain
shot!
between
I'll
heaven and
smash
earth.
you!
First aid. A wailing
Take
dancing
it!
of lightning.
Hurricane thrust!
Gemini awkward.
Tear!
I'll stop its
Hurricane
charge!
thrust!
Thanks, Kisara.
It's time!
Here's
Lunar Modo!
Will this help?
Orochi Fury!
Dance in the wind.
Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal you all. Purge,
Here I try harder!
Outstanding
Not a
water.
chance!
Healing circle.
No escape!
Freeze Lancer.
Leave the chargers to me.
Lightning
meteor.
Reload.
You're mine! Strike!
This one's mine!
Lunar corruption.
Slap the shot!
Trigger blade!
Not in your dreams.
Hurricane strike!
Hurricane
Ray,
thrust!
1,000 gales.
Strike!
Period of fire of water.
Soaring Light Spear!
Nail.
Shattering those pieces! Attack time!
Cyan instant.
Going in!
Rising Phoenix!
Tempest. I'll heal you all.
This isn't looking good!
Far enough!
In the wind.
Here I come!
Healing
Slap
circle.
the shot!
Pull myself together! Save you!
Mega ray.
Take this! Thanks!
Wind astral energy
Rising
wall.
Phoenix!
War without
Take this!
Will this help? This one's mine! Water snake, wait! Hurricane... Think again! Hurricane
Slap
strike!
the shot!
Here goes.
Blizzard blow! Need to pull myself together!
Lunar
Here I
blast.
come.
Waterfall.
I'm not done!
Sleep
You
now.
made me angry! That was a bad idea!
Here's a healing art. A chain between
Feeling
heaven
good
and earth.
enough today!
A wailing
It's
dance
pretty
of
good.
lightning.
By
Confiscated.
me!
Can't get out of this!
Lightning. Lightning orb.
This one's
War
mine!
without end.
Searing Gale!
Hurricane strike!
Magic is there.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher! Will this help?
Ready and ready!
Vanquish darkness.
Feast of Soul!
Healing.
Double Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
Here's
Double
the
Demon
healing
Fang!
art! Hurricane!
You're mine!
I'll bring you back from depths abyss!
Rising Light!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Not today!
Here goes.
Hurricane!
Healing.
Tear!
Thanks.
Denied.
Just what I needed. Lightning.
Switch!
Hurricane, take this!
Now.
Swim!
Astral energy.
Say no more! Hey, I'm pretty lucky. No choice! Slap the shot!
In
a vine?
Holy glimmer.
Here I come!
Holy
Soda!
land. chain between heaven and earth.
That'll bring you down.
Not on my watch.
Hurricane thrust! Tear! It's over!
Chain between heaven and earth. Lunar corruption.
Rising
A
Phoenix!
wailing
This
fury
one's
of
all
lightning.
mine! Stardust! Rising Phoenix!
Power of water.
Ether!
Annihilation.
Now or never! I'm nearly done for. No escape!
No further!
This one's
Let's
mine.
go.
Chain between heaven and earth.
This one's mine.
Make it rain. Energy of lightning.
I'm ready.
Sleep now.
Take this!
I'm gone.
Azure Storm! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Purge
Not
below.
again.
Magic and healing wall.
Dragon Swarm!
Freeze Lancer.
In a bind?
Strike!
Healing circle.
Thanks, Tion.
Hurricane Blast.
I owe you one for that.
Rising Phoenix!
Make it rain.
Turtle
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
Not a chance!
Gravitas field.
Going in.
Purge
No
leveling.
escape!
Annihilation. Mega wheel.
You picked the wrong fight! We did it! My turn!
The power of water.
Take this!
It's time!
Modo! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
It's my gut tempest whirl. More lightning from
Searing Gale!
Ray.
Ha! Ignite!
Raging storm. With this, I can become even stronger.
An opponent like this should be easy.
It's raging! Searing flame! Reborn flame!
Lots of
Not
shot!
in your dreams!
Watch for their ranged attack.
Here I come! Stardust! Lunar Rondo! Soaring Light Spear!
Denied.
Radiant Pierce!
Mirage!
Gale Force!
Hurricane Slice.
Here's a
Infernal
healing
Torrent! I could do without it.
burning! Raging cascade!
Release this!
I'm all
Can't
fucked
get
up!
out of this!
Air thrust!
Take this! No escape! This one's all mine! You picked the wrong fight! Hurricane Thrust!
Glacial Spear.
No escape! Stardust!
Raging
Light Spear! You're finished!
It's time!
Fire support! Lunar Rondo!
That's my cue.
Flame inside me! Shut him down! Mirage!
In here, I can handle it. I'll be safe this way.
Here I come!
Make it rain.
A chain between heaven and frozen.
Hammer.
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
Hi, Hoodle.
I see one, eh? Not today! I'll smash you! Crush!
So much for talking it out. Appreciate the help. Denied.
Here
I
I
owe
come!
you one for that.
In a bind?
Prepare to be... Here I come! Fire support!
Can't get out of this! Take this!
Here I come!
Here's a healing first. Here goes.
Here I come! Mirage!
Annihilation.
Burn it all!
Not on my watch. Mega ray.
Mirage! Try this!
Now,
Infernal Torrent!
Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis.
No chance!
Photon Blast.
Glacial Punch.
Eruption. Lunar Dance in the wind.
Where are you going?
I'm not done!
Photon Magic is there.
Dragon
Holy
Swarm!
land. Will this how you get the jet? Goodbye. I'll give
Now
you
you've
one.
gone and ticked me off.
Mirage!
Shield.
you!
Try harder, Master!
Do not!
Eat that!
I'll smash you!
Severing wing!
Make it rain! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare to Malisa! Will this help? Guardian Field!
Start up!
I'm ready
Here
to
goes!
go!
Healing circle!
You're on!
More where that came from!
Infernal sword!
Magic in
You're
there!
mine!
Lunar Heart!
I can feel my power growing!
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right, you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
I've never known Thalia to control noodles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
Where did you get our hands on that?
First, we handle the...
Then we get some answers.
In here!
Aim for the weak.
Fury! Burning strike! Modo!
You're mine!
Tiger
No
Blade!
escape!
Wind Astral Energy! More heavy! Going in! Not on my watch! Where are you going?
You're mine!
Inferno!
Now!
Come forth!
Now!
Holy Sliver! Light
Take
up the
this!
dark! Holy
I'm
Land!
ready to
Is
go!
chain between heaven and earth! Magic is there! Need to pull
Take
myself
it!
together.
How
about this? Radiant!
I'll stop its charge. Thanks, Isara.
Hurricane thrust!
Ready!
Soda!
I'm all sucked up!
Lunar Rondo!
Meteor! Primed and ready! First! Not on my watch!
Soda!
Down!
Lunar Rondo!
In here!
You may be strong, but I'll never back down!
Going in! Lunar corruption! Gemini Aqua! Maelstrom!
Ignite!
Beast assault!
You're mine!
Healing circle! Car now! In here! Overwhelm! Save you!
Hurricane thrust! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
You're on! Here I come!
Lightning orb! In photon flash!
Plasma shock!
One more! Hurricane foot!
This
one's mine! Blizzard blow! Here's a healing arc!
This one's mine!
First aid! Flaming meteor! Radiant sword! Huddle! Photon flash!
Lunar Rondo!
Not in your dreams! Radiant
Take this!
Inferno! Flaming fury!
Dragon Swarm!
Burning strike!
Plasma shock!
Hear my
The
call!
flame inside me! You're...
Lord of the Sunshine!
Not today!
Magic is there!
Rinwell!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Here's a healing
Flaming
meteor! A whirling
Plasma
ignite! Going in!
I can carve through armor!
If it's in the sky, it's
This
mine!
Lunar Rondo!
One
Soaring
more!
Light Spear!
That'll bring you down! Radiant! It's about to
You're
strike!
mine! Look sharp, everyone! Hold nothing back! You're mine! Now we're not... Can't move!
You have to hold on! Hurricane Flash! I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Resuscitation! Air thrust!
Take this!
A chain here! Let me work! Here! Let me help!
You're mine!
First aid!
Plasma shock!
By the power of water! Falling storm!
You're mine!
Shattering out of the pieces! Hurricane Flash! Hear my call!
Eat dirt!
Flaming bloom!
You're on! Here I come!
Flaming meteor! I never miss!
You require a hand.
Soda! It's on! Lunar Rondo!
See what I can
do! On the ground! Soda!
Raging cascade! Tiger blade!
Rising Phoenix!
Circle!
Enough
No further!
Tiger blade! Radiant
not
blow!
done.
Dark
Soda!
shield!
Lunar
Out
Rondo!
of ammo!
Mirage! Plasma shock!
Confiscated! Healing circle! Need to pull out. I'm all stuck! Piercing
Double win!
Magic is far enough!
Burn!
Gonna hurt! Right, watch out!
Lunar Rondo!
Here, will this help? Judgment spin!
Hurricane thrust!
Healing circle! Firmament render!
Try harder! I'm not done!
I never miss!
The earth lost in pain.
You're mine! Tear!
I'll heal you all!
Tear!
Healing
Here I
circle!
come!
Can't get out of this!
Shaggy
Soda!
supernova!
Lunar Rondo! I'm not done!
No!
Can't end here!
Don't give up! Rage! Healing circle! Here's a healing arc! I'll bring you back from death! I got you! A wailing banshee of lightning! Frozen!
Hammer!
now it's just her!
Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more.
Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion.
Huh?
Thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right?
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Fine.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent. Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I'm determined to save Shion and Dana. Nothing I learn can change that.